If you followed along with all my other cabinet build videos, today we're going to start assembling base cabinets. Here I'm sanding the back panel, the bottom panel, and the top stretchers on all the exposed edges so there won't be any splinters and it'll be ready for finishing. I'm going to give the face frame just a very light 220 grit sanding on the front side. Knock out any rough edges or anything just on the face of it. One thing you want to make sure is when you're feeling over your face frame, especially since these are going to be painted, you want to find any sharp edges because the paint will chip on those edges. So like this edge here, both in these corners is kind of sharp, and right in there. I'll just take one of these sanding sponges and just kind of round it over a little more. That way it's not as sharp of an edge, but then it's all nice. And also on any exposed side. So on this particular cabinet, this is going to be a nice fresh clean edge here, flush with the box, the carcass. So I want this edge to be kind of rounded so the paint doesn't get chipped or anything or wear down as fast. It'll also grip better. This cabinet is ready for assembly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue in here and put this piece in there, flip it up, and I'm going to staple it on here. Staples will be fine. There's a lot of glue surface here. And I'll repeat this process for the other side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to shoot these staples in here, this front and back. I'm going to try to control how much glue comes out on this because I don't want it to really ooze out. I want it to squeeze these in. You can obviously see it's out a little bit, so what I'm going to do to help with an extra hand, I'm just going to throw a clamp on here and mash it a little tighter. Basically what that'll do is that will allow something for the countertop to down onto. With my clamp on there, I just want to get it, make sure it's got a little extra pressure there to make sure it was squeezed together. And I'll do the same for the front. It also allows the surface to nail the back on here. I set this down just a little bit so that it doesn't interfere with the cabinet, or the countertop I should say. You can cut out a triangle wedge there too. I mean, it's personal preference. Now we'll add the back panel. And like before I put it on here, I want to make sure it fits because my measurement was obviously off, as you can see. And I can tell exactly what I did. I measured the inside, which I should have measured the actual real side. I had two measurements messed up, so let me recut that right quick before the glue sets. Luck was just not on my side. I still cut it just a slight little bit short, but that's fine. It'll still allow me to get it all taken care of. Run a bead of glue down this edge here. Run a ever so small one across there. Run another bead of glue down here. And then I'll take and run another ever so slight one across there. So then we'll just put the piece right in here like that, and because I did manage to cut it too short again, and I just put the wrong piece in there, unfortunately. That was one. We'll put the actual piece in that's supposed to go. What I'll end up doing is I'll split the difference between the two sides and just angle my crown staples at a much sharper edge. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure this edge up here is square. Before I run my first staple, clear up this other edge here, like that. I'm going to staple into there. Then because this piece here is actually potentially not square, I'm going to use my framing square to go all the way across. And it does line up square with the cabinet. I'm happy with the results. The reason I'm putting extra staples in this one is because it's a little bit on the short side width-wise, so I want to get extra grip on it. And because this edge here and this edge here I split evenly and it's just barely on there, I'm going to really angle my crowns so they blow over to the side. This is definitely a case of measure twice, cut twice, it's still too short. When I finish this off, I'll flip it back over and run a bead glue down in. That is essentially the cabinet. Top to bottom, bottom to top, and that's the top where the countertop will mount on. This side is going to have the wainscoting added on after I'm done, and this side will be the side that actually butts up against another cabinet. It will look essentially like this, just like that. If I wasn't finishing the inside of the cabinet and painting the frame, what I would do is I would actually put the frame on right now to also help add stability, but with these braces here across the front and back on the top, it adds the squareness that it needs. What I mean by I would actually put more glue in the crack on both sides so you can see that glue right there. I'm hoping that will add some extra bonding power between there, even though it's relying a lot on the glue to do the work instead of the crown staples, but between both of them, hopefully it'll hold it together.
Here I'm going to drill the holes to attach the face frame to the cabinet carcass. I'm going to use the Kreg Mini Jig. It came with my Kreg 4 master system. I'll link both in the description down below if you want to check them out. I'm putting all the pocket holes on the outside of the carcass. If you remember right, one side will be finished, but it will have wainscoting which will cover up the holes. The other side will be butted up against another cabinet so you won't see the holes. I do the same procedure for the rest of the cabinet carcasses. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.